We ear hustling, baby. I am Newbie the Ear Hustler, and today's guest is John Wells out of Baltimore.
Yes, ma'am.
I discovered John through Mickey Hellerbeck on Instagram, and he is a writer who loves, obviously, hip-hop music. And when I listened to this song that he put up, I was like, yo, who is this kid? Because I'm not hearing like anybody that's sounding like him or anything like that. So I said, I got to reach out, and I appreciate you accepting the invite from me.
I appreciate you reaching out.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about coming up in Baltimore and how you got into this hip hop thing.
I've been making music since I was like 11 years old. But the whole time I've been like somewhat like a huge music fan since I was like from as long as I can remember, like 4 years old type thing. Cause am I allowed to cuss, by the way? My bad.
Yes.
Okay, cool. My dad was like a singer. You know what I mean? And so he had me around music very, very early. He used to do like karaoke all the time and stuff like that. But like everybody kind of recognized like he was really good. And then my uncle was in like a rock band type thing, and then my grandparents, they both sang and stuff like that. They used to say my grandfather sounded like Louis Armstrong back in the day. Yeah. So, like I've been, into music my entire life, but, like I said, if, my uncle's in a rock band, my dad, he likes, rock music and stuff like that. He's into hip hop too, my uncle too. But, the difference in generation is like, I love music. I love a lot of different types of music, but hip hop is what like really caught me early.
So now, when you say you were exposed to all kinds of music, that's including R&B, soul, pop,
absolutely,
and you took to hip hop.
Yeah. Like my mom was like big on like Alicia Keys and she like Lauryn Hill a lot, and she was into like you remember Josh Stone?
Of course.
Yeah,
She's still around.
Yeah. Josh Stone. She loved Josh Stone. So yeah, like it was a bunch of like I was getting that from my mom, but then I was getting like it's like a weird mix. Like my dad was into like Ozzy Osbourne and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But then he would have like my dad knew every word to Gin and Juice. He knew every word to the Humpty Dance by Digital Underground. Rap was Delight, of course. So like he's born in 1968. So it's like he's kind of like a
he had the best of it all, actually.
Yeah.
And generations and generations of music.
For sure. Yeah.
So now tell me about the name Lor Luck.
Okay. Yeah. So I go into this a little bit in my album. Like I got the name Luck from when I was like 7 years old. I broke my leg. I broke my femur. It's one of the hardest bones in your body.
Yeah.
Anybody that ain't familiar. And they say most people who break their leg in the way that I broke my leg, they never walk again.
Ooh.
And but obviously you seen me, I'm able to walk and all this stuff. So, my grandfather started like jokingly calling me Lucky. And like like when I got to high school, it felt like everybody had a nickname. So I was like, all right, I like Lucky. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of brought it back. Now Lor, let me silence my phone real quick.
Yeah, fine.
Lor is what man Boogie was saying. It's like some Baltimore shit. It's like the way we say it's like a in our accent, that's how we say little.
Oh,
like Lil Wayne, Lil Kim, Lor Luck. You know what I'm saying?
So it's Lor Luck.
Yeah, Lor Luck.
Wow. Yeah. That's interesting. I mean, I know, every place you go, everybody has. But that one is new on me.
Yeah.
And I've been around the world, and I ain't never heard that one.
Yeah. That's like some shit that's been around since we was like, what you say, probably like 08 type thing. You know what I'm saying? Like 08, 09 Facebook days. You know what I'm saying?
So now talk to me about recording your first song and what that was like.
My first song, I'm gonna say my first song that dropped, that was like, I was like 15. This was 2013. And my best friend, his name was Tyrese. He was a rapper. He went by Hot Boy Rez. And like, if you go back and listen to it, you can tell like he was on some complete other shit than me. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was like more so on some trap shit when I was like I was the big Kendrick Lamar fan, and like I like Jay Electronica and stuff like that back in the day. But yeah, he had already been like putting music out on SoundCloud and stuff like that. And so I just like, one day we was playing video games on the phone, and with two of our other homeboys, Kwame and Malik, who also eventually started rapping because me and him was rapping. And yeah, like I showed him my raps, and he was like, "Damn, bro, you actually like nice as a motherfucker." And that had been like the general consensus from like as soon as I started. Like, everybody thought I was really good. But yeah, like if you go back to my first song, like the hook is rappers, we in them, AKs, we packing them. We had no business doing that. You know what I'm saying? I was 15, he was 16.
Yeah.
But, you know. That's just, yeah.
That's what y'all do when y'all young.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly.
So, but, I guess what made me ask that is when I hear you, and it's interesting that you said Kendrick, right? You have a flow about you.
Yeah.
Talk to me about your inspirations.
I mean, like I said, like from the jump, people was like, literally off my first song, people was saying I sound like Kendrick Lamar, and that's where I got a lot of my early inspiration from. But you know, you can go to guys like I was heavy into Pac really early. You know what I mean? Like when I really got into hip hop, I started out like, you know, every white rapper's introduction is obviously Eminem. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, at least in this age.
Right.
But you know, I was like heavy into M, then I get into, you know, Dre, Pac, 50, Game, and then eventually I'm starting to pay attention to Kendrick as the years go on. And I was big into Los, King Los from Baltimore. I was telling Boogie, like I went to this meet and greet, and when I was like 14 at this store down Fells Point in Baltimore, it was called PetX, and I saw that man freestyle for like 25 minutes. I was like, yo, this is like, that was like the style of rap and I wanted to get into at that time. Like I felt like that was the, you know, you the best rapper alive and you can do shit like that. And yeah, like I carry all that with me. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah, and Los is a legend now.
Yeah, for sure.
You know?
For sure. Yeah. That was my guy.
Yeah.
And from there it's like guys like, you know, Hove and Wayne, for sure. Wayne was like big, you know what I'm saying, the beginning of my career. I mean, still, like I still go back and listen to Lil Wayne mixtapes, you know what I'm saying? So
I think a lot of people sleep on Wayne.
Yeah.
Lyrically, he's nice.
Yeah.
And I was watching something recently where a conversation came up, you know, top 10, and they was like, how you not going to include Lil Wayne? And I'm like, yeah, they got a point.
Yeah, no,
you know
absolutely. What I mean, Wayne is like top 2 for me. You know what I'm saying? So
I think it gets misconstrued when you start hearing music that people can, you know, dance to or rock with, and then it's like it takes away the street cred. But if you really listen into the lyrics,
yeah, exactly.
I mean, he's just
like it's
crazy.
something there.
Yeah,
it's a lot there.
Yeah. How did you hone in on your skills?
Really early, I used to write down other rappers' raps and tell people. I would spit them for them and shit like that. Like, yeah. So I feel like when you look at a rapper's lyrics as closely as I did when I did that, it like kind of teaches you their thought process, and as you do that over time, it's like I'm sitting there memorizing their shit, so like I don't have to hold up a paper and like spit it to my homeboys when I spit it to them. So like yeah, like you start to understand the way they rap and the way they think and the way they think when they rap, and it helped me develop my own style and my own thought process for the way I rap.
Yeah, one of the things that I like about the way you rhyme is storytelling. Not everybody knows how to do that. I mean, some of the top hip-hop storytellers, you think of Slick Rick, you think of Nas,
absolutely.
You think of all these people, and in my mind, when I was listening to what you were saying, especially when you talk about your dad, I was like, you know what? You got something special.
Thank you.
I know Rolling Stone was down here. You starting to pop.
Something like that.
How you feeling about that?
It's pretty cool. I'm starting to have like people come up to me in public and be like, yo, I'm a fan, blah, 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 blah. It's been happening a few times over the past few years, but like after, what I'm saying, like after this album dropped, essentially, it's like people are really starting to like acknowledge me. You know what I'm saying? So it's cool. It's still like some weird shit going on. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like people like I had a lot of people like fake like they known me for a long ass time, pretty frequently recently. But other than that, it's I try not to take it so personal. You know what I'm saying? But it's just I got a lot of close people around me already.
I was going to say, it seems like your clique is tight.
Yeah, for sure. Like the people who are around me, they've been around me for a while. Like, I got 10 plus years homeboys with me. You know what I'm saying? And then like people who just been rocking with me on the music tip for at least like 6, 7, 8 years. You know what I'm saying? So, it's just like to have these people who've been with me from the jump, and then having like some random motherfucker like just who only ever spoke to me over social media, that's like acting like we friends and shit like that. And it is what it is, because like I know what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, I was going to say your clique is going to get even tighter.
Yeah.
Talk to me about the challenges of being white and rhyming like this and getting respect.
I never really experienced the challenges of being white until my shit started to pick up, like in music, obviously. It's like people who know me, they know me. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like they know what it is. So it's never been like, it's been a lot of I didn't expect you to rap like that, but I feel like that was always more so just because I don't expect anybody to rap like that. But as my shit started to pick up, it was like, I had a guy recently when the Rolling Stone thing dropped. It was like he was like, why would y'all give this accolade to a white artist before a bunch of black artists, when these black artists have been doing this, you know what I'm saying, and making the same type of music way longer? And that's something I agree with. You know what I'm saying? Like I recognize, like, Rolling Stone and these other large platforms, they don't come to Baltimore that often, and I feel like it's way more necessary to highlight these Black artists rather than just come down here to talk to the white guy who can rap like this. And it's like I can't say no,
right? No, you're not supposed to,
because it's like I'm trying to make a living out of it. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's like I gotta make sure, like, as a white artist, I'm advocating for Black artists. So that's kind of my takeaway from
and that's dope,
being a white artist.
Yeah, I think that's dope that you recognize that. No need to go back and forth with folks.
Yeah.
But I think the fact that you want to advocate is dope. Like, bring them on in, bring them down.
Yeah.
Don't just come for me. Come for my people, or anybody else that or you think is worth it. And I respect that a lot. You don't hear that too often, and in this day and conversation about everybody being sensitive to race, and that conversation is dope that you're aware.
Yeah. I try my best.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about the album, the project that you dropped, the title, and let's talk about some of the songs.
So, the Apprehension of John Wells is something I've been working on since I was like 21. And
dope title, by the way, The Apprehension of John Wells.
Thank you. When I thought of that, I was thinking like the miseducation of Lauryn Hill or the state versus Roger Davis. You know what I'm saying, by Gucci. So it's like, I was kind of pulling from that. But it's like this album was a completely different album when I first started it. My father was alive when I first started this album, but in the midst of all that, I had like some very like stagnant years. Like, this was like, I'm talking 2018, 2019, like I barely put any music up. You can, like, if you go on my Spotify, you won't see anything from before 2019. And it's like I had to really
dig.
Yeah, for that. And on top of that, in beginning of 2020, I saw a lot of shit with, even before COVID hit, just like seeing with my friends, my family. My dad was staying in a homeless shelter at the beginning of 2020. And he had been staying there for a few months. And like, I kind of felt this need to not keep sleeping on myself, I guess. I started like very frequently putting music out throughout the year 2020. And then when the thing with my dad happened, this was like July. I had already put like February, March, April, June. I put out like 4 songs already, 4 singles. And after that happened, I started like really getting deeper into my music. And I put out a project, an EP, just to have something, like have a body of work to put out. And then I put out a 7-track project. I put out singles in between. Then I put out a 10-track project in 2021. I put out some more singles, another EP. And so it was all like building up to this. I had this in my head like the whole time I was doing all that. And you can really hear it in the music. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you listen to that, it's like, it feels like a precursor to the Apprehension of John Wells. So
yes, I did my homework.
Yeah. So it's like, it's like I did all that just so I could finally make this, so I could have something to build me up to where people were actually paying attention. And it's slowly working out.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry to hear about the loss of your father.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
It sounds like that also drove you into a certain mindset, you know. And sometimes, you know, life changes and these different things happen, and you want to make sure that you're refocused. So I appreciate that respect. I lost both my parents.
Got you. Sorry to hear that, by the way.
That's okay. And you know, so I think, you know, you start to think, okay, I need to live differently. You know, I need to move differently.
Yeah.
Talk to me a little bit about the songs on this specific project. What are your top 3 songs on the project and why?
Number 1 gotta be No Drugs in Heaven. And honestly, No Drugs in Heaven is like my favorite song I've ever made. Just because it like that's, I think, the most vulnerable I've ever been in a song. And like, if you've listened to my music, you know I get pretty vulnerable in my music. So. But yeah, it's like that's just so close to my heart, like to tell my father's life story in a song, and to have people understand. Like, I'm having, you know, people are reaching out to me saying like, this song inspired me to, you know, take my dad to rehab. That like means the world to me. Like, just the fact that my dad would have never expected his story to, you know, affect people like that. So just what it's done makes me love it even more. But then just the release that I got from that, to be able to tell my dad's entire story. What would number 2 be? Number 2 would probably be Sorry, off of the deluxe. I made that song the day my grandmother passed away last year. And you know, my grandmother was like way older than my dad was. This was his mother. She passed away almost 2 years to the day my dad passed away. And yeah, like my dad passed away July 6th, 2020. She passed away July 9th. Might have been 10th, matter of fact. I'm not 100% sure. Of 2022. And yeah, it's like, you know, it put me kind of right back to where I was when my dad passed away. Like, this mode, like, I don't have all the time in the world. And at this point, I've learned a lot since my dad's passed away. Just this mindset of like, you know, I've got to live for myself. I've got to do what I got to do for myself to be happy. And that song was kind of just like a declaration, like, I'm going to live how I want to live. And I'm not going to, you know, accept anything less than that.
Good for you.
Thank you. Yeah. So, yeah, that would probably be number 2. Number 3 has to be Spider Rat. It's track 5. Is that track 5? Might be track. No, it's track 5. But yeah, track 5, Spider Rat. It's like, I think that was like, next to No Drugs in Heaven, I feel like that was my best song lyrically on the project. That's another one that's also very close to my heart though, like with the story behind it.
Okay.
I don't like to go super deep into the story with that one, but long story short, if you know, there was a team of corrupt police officers in Baltimore who were they actually got caught with RICO charge back in 2017, I think. And you know, so a lot of them guys was from around here. And my dad, my family is from around here. And like I said, I don't want to go too super deep into it.
I got you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there was
a lot going on.
It was a lot going on for sure. Leave it at that. But yeah, that song meant a lot for me to get up.
Yeah. So now you've got these songs. You had Rolling Stone come down. I'm here. I'm just telling you, you can't get no better than this.
Exactly. Same way I feel.
What's next for you? Like, where do you see yourself next year this time?
Next year this time. It sounds crazy, but probably doing the same thing I'm doing right now, except on a way bigger level. Because I stayed in my work. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I'm, constantly trying to get better with this. Just in my business and, my music. Putting out a lot of music and making a lot more money than I am right now. Even though I'm making a little bit. But, you know what I'm saying? Making some more.
Yeah. Anybody you want to work with? Has anybody reached out to you?
We saying in the next year or just in general? Because I would love a Jay-Z feature.
Oh, but, man. A lot of people like that.
Yeah. No, exactly. That's what. But nah. Who do I really want to work with? Really want to work with my man Billy Woods. From Arm & Hammer. He's not just from Arm & Hammer, but a lot of people know him from a group called Arm & Hammer. My man Fly Anakin from Virginia just showed love, you know what I'm saying, on Twitter pretty recently. I would love to work with Fly Anakin.
I've never heard of him.
Dope rapper.
Okay, I gotta check him out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who else? I don't know. I want to work with a lot of people. You know what I mean? I got some, you know what I'm saying, features lined up that's pretty cool. You know what I mean? So, not that are coming out via my music, but other artists that
Can you share any of them, or you got to stay quiet about it?
I probably should stay quiet about it.
Okay, all right. But as long as I get the heads up when it's coming first, I can.
Absolutely, for sure.
Listen, I know, one of the challenges about doing this thing is staying relevant, keeping your pen game sharp. What advice do you have to any up and comers?
Do it as much as possible, as much as you can, and do it when you feel it more than when you feel the need to do it. That's something I've learned over time. I go most of the time based off of feeling, and damn near everything that I do, but in my lyrics a lot. Like, I don't like to just be writing just because somebody is, making me feel like I should right now. I like everything to be natural. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I would say to him, for sure.
Well, number one, I want to say thank you for inviting me into your home.
Thank you for coming.
This has been a great conversation. I'm looking forward to everything that you have coming.
Thank you.
For those of you who know me, I stay on top of all the good stuff. I'm not into a lot of certain type of rap, but this I'm into. You're
Appreciate
on all digital streaming platforms.
Yes, ma'am.
He's on Instagram, John Wells.
Instagram is
Lor
Luck. LORLUCK.
Okay. But now in parentheses is the John Wells underneath that, right?
Yeah,
that's what I think I saw. So it's Lor Luck on Instagram. What about YouTube?
YouTube is Less Funerals, More Birthdays. That's my brand.
Less Funerals, More Birthdays. Okay.
And you can get me on Twitter at John Wells with 2 underscores. Am I missing anything?
If somebody wants to do a feature with you, how do they reach you?
You can reach me through a couple different avenues. You can hit me on at my email, lessfuneralsmorebirthdays@gmail.com, or you can just hit me on social media. I'm pretty good about responding to everybody.
All right.
So, yeah.
Well, I'm Newbie the Ear Hustler. This is my guest, John Wells.
I'm John Wells.
We ear hustling, baby. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.
Peace.